So, today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful moments in all of world literature. It's the opening crisis of the Bhagavad Gita. And look, this isn't just some ancient story, it's a really deep look at duty, at despair, and, well, at the nature of existence itself, all happening right on the edge of a massive, catastrophic war. I mean, just really think about that for a second. Put yourself in this position. You're a warrior. You've sworn your life to uphold what's right. But to do that, you have to lift your sword against your teachers, your grandfathers, your cousins, your friends. This isn't just some thought experiment. It's the nightmare our hero is living. All right, so let's set the scene. We're on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is described as a field of sacred duty. You have two enormous armies, the Pandavas and the Kurus, lined up, ready to go. The war horns have sounded, the ground is literally trembling. This is it. The moment of truth has arrived. So on one side, you've got the Pandava forces. These are led by heroes like the incredible archer Arjuna and the super strong Bhima. And on the other side, the Kuru army, commanded by Duryodhana and defended by absolute legends like the wise elder Bhishma and the great teacher Drona. I mean, these are the giants of their time. And this is the real tragedy of it all. When the Pandavas look across that field, they don't just see enemy soldiers. No way. They see the men who taught them how to shoot a bow, the grandfather who held them when they were kids, the cousins they grew up playing with. This is a civil war in the truest, most heartbreaking sense of the word. So we've got this epic, massive scene with two armies, but now we're going to zoom all the way in, right into the mind and heart of one man, Arjuna. He's supposed to be the greatest warrior of his generation, but he's about to face a battle that none of his training could ever prepare him for. So Arjuna turns to his charioteer, who, by the way, just happens to be the god Krishna in disguise, and he says, "Take me to the middle, right between the two armies." He doesn't want to hide in the back. He wants to get up close and personal. He wants to look into the eyes of the very men he's supposed to kill. And what happens when he sees them? It's a complete physical and emotional breakdown. I mean, the text is so vivid here. It says his limbs just give out, his mouth goes totally dry, his whole body starts to shake, and his legendary bow, a gift from the gods, it just slips right out of his hands. The sheer reality of it all just completely overwhelms him. And what's so incredible here is that this isn't just him being emotional. He actually builds this really powerful, logical argument against the war. He says, killing our own family is a horrific sin that's going to tear our whole society apart. It'll lead to total chaos and corruption. And then he asks this absolutely devastating question. Even if we win, what kind of joy can we possibly find in a kingdom that's built on the bodies of our own family? And that's it. His decision is made. Completely overcome by grief, his mind just in torment, the world's greatest warrior throws down his bow and arrows and literally collapses in his chariot. He says it plainly, "I shall not fight." He completely refuses to take part in the killing. It's right here, in this moment of total despair. This is when the real conversation, the Gita itself, actually starts. Arjuna has pleaded his case, and now his divine charioteer, Lord Krishna, finally breaks his silence and offers a perspective that's going to change everything. Krishna's first words are, wow. They're just astonishing. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, this must be so hard." Not at all. Instead, he completely challenges the very reason for Arjuna's sadness. He basically tells him, "You're grieving for something you shouldn't be. Wise people don't mourn for the living or the dead." I mean, how can that possibly be? This is where Krishna introduces this just radical idea. He explains that who we really are, what he calls the self or the Atman, it isn't our body. It's this eternal, indestructible presence that lives inside the body. It was never born, and it can never, ever die. And with this one concept, Krishna just flips the whole problem on its head. He shifts the entire conversation away from this temporary world of bodies and fighting to the eternal reality of this self that endures forever. And to explain it, he uses this brilliant, super simple analogy. He says, look, it's just like how we take off old, worn-out clothes and put on new ones. The eternal self does the same thing with bodies. When one body gets old and wears out, the self just discards it, and it moves into a new one, completely unharmed by the whole process. And to really hammer the point home, Krishna describes the self as basically invulnerable. You can't cut it with a sword, you can't burn it with fire, water can't make it wet, and the wind can't dry it out. It is beyond all physical harm, an unchanging reality that is everywhere and for all time. And here it is. This is the direct answer to Arjuna's crisis. Krishna says, point blank, anyone who thinks the self can kill someone or that the self can be killed, they both just don't get it. They don't understand what it truly is. The real you and the real them, they can't be touched by what happens on this battlefield. So this leaves us with this huge, profound question that just echoes through the rest of the book. If our essential self is immortal, if it's truly indestructible, then what's the real meaning of all this? What does it actually mean to fight, to fulfill your duty, or even to live and die? What are we really fighting for?